If you're burnt out on big-budget AAA games that overhype and underdeliver, you might want to give these standout AA games a try. I've put together a list of 10 incredible AA games that outshine most recent AAA releases. Let's dive into the list and see which hidden gems made the cut. If you've already played Sifu and are looking for something similar but with added complexity, you've got to try Absolver. This is an older, third-person martial arts action-adventure game set in a world where the empire has crumbled and you're working to keep society from descending further into chaos. You'll get to fight in both PvE and PvP battles, and the community is known for being surprisingly friendly and helpful, not toxic at all. Be warned, combat has a steep learning curve. Unlike Sifu, enemies here are quick to parry your moves, keeping you constantly on your toes. Many players compare it to Dark Souls, but I think of it as For Honor, with a martial arts twist and much greater depth. If you're up for the challenge, Absolver offers some of the best action in AA gaming. Kunitsu-Gami, Path of the Goddess, is one of the more recent releases that completely caught me off guard. I expected a solid game, but it ended up far surpassing my expectations. It's incredibly addictive and surprisingly in-depth. You play as a guardian tasked with defending the queen and villagers from eerie, otherworldly monsters. Think of it as a tower defense meets action RPG. Far more satisfying, challenging, and, of course, addictive. By day, you recruit villagers, and by night, you strategically place them and choose your defenses to fend off waves of enemies. Success requires careful thought with every placement, defense choice, and attack pattern. But it doesn't stop there. The game constantly pushes you with new scenarios, like fighting in pitch-dark caves, encountering unknown monsters, and managing limited resources. It's an incredibly unique blend of RPG and tower defense, and it pulls it off brilliantly. I'm sure you all remember Hades, the smash hit that set a new standard in the action roguelike genre with its intense hack-and-slash combat, gorgeous visuals, and massive replay value. Naturally, a sequel was bound to happen, and now Hades 2 has finally arrived. Well, in early access at least. And let me tell you, it's already a blast. The game takes everything that made the original a hit and levels it up. Combat and combos retain that satisfying feel we all loved, but now the voice acting, music, and art have been polished to an even higher standard. There's plenty of new content, with additional gods, ghosts, monsters, perks, and powers to explore. Some of the boons aren't as impactful yet, but remember, it's still early access. Even now, it's shaping up to be another massive hit. Bright Memory. Infinite is one of those games you play purely for the thrill, not for its story or length. While its short playtime and minimal narrative hold it back from true greatness, the gameplay itself is an absolute rush. If you can look past the lack of depth, you're in for a blast of fast-paced action. The combat is incredibly smooth and satisfying, blending melee with gunplay in a way that lets you chain together insane combos. Plus, you get to wield some cool abilities like time slowing and a grappling hook to elevate the action. So if story isn't a big deal for you, this game's intense, exhilarating gameplay is definitely worth checking out. If you're looking for a relaxing adventure that's every bit as captivating as a big-budget AAA game, A Short Hike is a must-play. It might look simple on the surface, but trust me, it's surprisingly engaging. With its Zelda-like exploration and beautiful pixel art, this is a wholesome little game that lets you explore and unwind at your own pace. You'll find yourself in a stunning world, filled with quirky characters, fun missions, and a variety of things to do. You're free to take on missions whenever you like, or skip them entirely. Instead, you can simply wander, fish by a quiet lake, soak up the beautiful landscapes, or try out some minigame. It's the kind of experience where you can lose yourself in the peaceful atmosphere, offering a nice breather from the more chaotic games around us. If you're in the mood for a short but unforgettable adventure, look no further than Bramble, the Mountain King. This game can be finished in a single sitting, lasting around 5 to 6 hours. Yet every moment resonates deeply. You play as a young boy on a mission to rescue his sister, who's been taken by a terrifying monster. What makes Bramble truly shine is its hauntingly beautiful and strange world, filled with eerie creatures, unexpected twists, and challenging encounters with massive foes. The combat is solid, but it's the exploration that sets this game apart. Every step feels like a discovery, keeping you on edge about what you'll encounter next. Coupled with an emotionally powerful story, Bramble forms a unique bond between you and the character, making this journey an experience you'll carry with you long after the game ends. In Nobody Wants to Die, you step into the role of suspended detective James Kara, navigating a world where the wealthy evade death by transferring their minds into new bodies. Kara's mission to retrieve a destroyed brain device linked to a powerful man soon plunges him into a darker murder case his boss wants buried. This gripping narrative unfolds with your choices shaping the plot and dialogue. Characters come alive through voice alone, including Kara, whose charm evolves based on player decisions. The game shines in atmosphere, stunning retro-futuristic visuals inspired by Blade Runner, immersing you in a world defying death. Gameplay emphasizes investigation, with tools like UV lights and an X-ray tracker, while Kara's Gauntlet, it recreates crime scenes. The jazzy noir soundtrack, streaming in full, perfectly complements this stylish experience. Nobody Wants to Die is a compelling debut, ideal even for non-puzzle fans.
Damn. He really got cooked, didn't he? Oh, I'm reading up on Green. Holy fuck, you know who this guy is?
Green's been shaking down the city for 200 years.
Then there's The Sinking City. From the moment I saw it, I was captivated. The game's atmosphere is unlike anything else, immersing you in a lonely, half-submerged world gripped by an evil, supernatural force. Your mission? Uncover the mystery behind this twisted reality, all while surviving its hidden horrors. What I love most is the game's openness. It doesn't feel confined. You roam the eerie, desolate city on foot, by boat, or even dive underwater. Naturally, terrifying creatures lurk around every corner, heightening the tension as you navigate the sunken city to solve cases. Investigations and puzzles are at the core of The Sinking City, with each case offering multiple paths based on your approach. It's not a game for everyone out though. The pacing can be slow and there are rough edges, but for fans of Lovecraftian mysteries, it's a darkly fascinating journey worth experiencing.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. Choo-choo.
Finally, let's dive into No Rest for the Wicked, a game with so much to love. Starting with the story, it's easily a 10 out of 10, full of mystery and realistic, relatable characters. The narrative draws you in, supported by impressive voice acting. The game also features satisfying RPG elements like resource gathering, crafting, and building, all executed well. The combat, though, is where it really shines. It's challenging in a Souls-like way, tough but fair, forcing you to master a range of enemy attack patterns and abilities. You can customize your playstyle by combining deadly weapons, from sharp blades to powerful guns, with tons of gear options. Though not perfect, it's still in early access, meaning there's room to grow. But for now, No Rest for the Wicked is an incredibly promising experience. Still Wakes the Deep is a brilliant horror game and easily one of my favorites from a smaller studio. Despite having no combat, it excels at creating an overwhelming sense of dread that'll have your heart racing. You play as a worker trapped on an oil rig with no escape, as an intense storm outside causes the rig to collapse. The game focuses on survival as you explore the crumbling, often pitch black parts of the rig, and let me tell you, it gets genuinely creepy. Still Wakes the Deep masterfully taps into your deepest phobias, whether it's walking through a claustrophobic dark corridor or trying to cross a dangerously unstable beam over the deep sea below. Every step feels tense, and every corner could hide something horrifying, making this a truly immersive and terrifying experience. And that wraps up the list. I'm sure you'll find some games here that you'll fall in love with. If you've already played any of them, let me know which ones you enjoyed the most. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe. That's all for today, and I'll catch you in the next one.